This used to be a pint of ice cream. 16 ounces. Now it's 14. This used to be a 39-ounce can of coffee. Folgers shaved it down to 30 and a half, over 20% gone. Your chip bag? Shrinking too. Everyone says groceries are more expensive, but when you actually track 25 years of prices against wages, 4 out of 6 common products cost less of your paycheck today than in the year 2000. So if the data says you're winning, why does your grocery bag feel lighter? Before we answer that, we need to talk about the ruler. All the data in this video comes from one source, the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. It's the government agency that tracks the prices Americans pay for everything, from gasoline to ground coffee, across 80,000 items every single month. We pulled 25 years of their data for 6 packaged grocery products and built something we call the Real Unit Price Index, RUPI. Take the price of a product today, divide it by the price in 2000. Then divide that by how much wages grew over the same period. If the result is 1, a product costs the same share of your paycheck as it did 25 years ago. Above 1, it's taking a bigger bite. Below 1, wages 1. Now, here's what makes this a shrinkflation story, not just an inflation story. The BLS tracks price per unit, per pound, per ounce, per half gallon. So when a company shrinks a package from 16 ounces to 10 while keeping the sticker price the same, BLS records that as a price increase per pound. Shrinkflation is already baked into every number you're about to see. 6 products, all packaged goods, all starting at 1.0. Let the race begin, 2000 to 2009. At first, most products hover near the baseline. Wages and prices move roughly in step. Coffee actually drifts downward. A pound of ground roast takes about a quarter less of your paycheck by 2004, the cheap coffee era. Orange juice holds steady through the early years. Then, 2007, Florida gets hit by citrus canker and hurricanes. OJ jumps over 20% in a single year and crosses above 1. It won't come back down for long. 2008. A global commodity surge. Everything ticks up. But by 2009, most products settle back. And this is where the packages start changing. In 2008, Skippy redesigns its peanut butter jar. Same height, same label. But there's a new indent in the bottom. 18 ounces becomes 16.3. In 2009, Haagen-Dazs quietly drops from 16 ounces to 14. The whole ice cream industry follows, the half gallon that isn't really a half gallon anymore. The BLS catches it. The per unit price ticks up. But at the register? The sticker barely moved. 2010 to 2019, the quiet decade. Coffee spikes above 1 in 2011 and 12. A global commodity boom then falls back. It would stay below 1 for years. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is drifting down. Slowly, steadily. No single dramatic moment, just a gradual slide as wages outpace prices year after year. But watch what's happening to the packages. Folgers, one of America's top-selling ground coffees, which once sold a 39-ounce can, cuts to 33.9 ounces in 2011, then to 30.5 by 2014, nearly a quarter less coffee in 2 steps. Tropicana shrinks its carton from 59 to 52 ounces. According to the BLS, the snack food category saw a cumulative 2.64% price impact from downsizing between 2015 and 2019, the single most affected category. Chips, cookies, crackers, quietly losing an ounce here, an ounce there. Chips Ahoy reportedly cuts from 16 ounces to 13. And there's something the data can't capture at all. Skimpflation, same package, same size, same price, but cheaper ingredients. Thinner chips, waterier ice cream, less cocoa in the chocolate. No government agency tracks this. But it lives in the gap between what statistics measure and what your taste buds notice. By 2019, every product on the chart sits below the baseline. The per unit math says you're winning. But if you were shopping during this decade, it probably didn't feel that way. You were buying the same number of packages, paying roughly the same at checkout, and getting less in the bag each time. The lines are drifting down. Everything looks calm. 2020. A dip across the board. Every product appears cheaper overnight. But this isn't because prices dropped. During COVID, lower wage workers disproportionately lost jobs. Retail, hospitality, food service. The median wage jumped. Not because anyone got a raise, because the composition of who was still working changed. The prices were real. The wage improvement was a statistical artifact. Workers return in 2021. Then 2022, inflation surges, supply chains still broken, energy costs cascading through everything. And the shrinkflation continues. Oreos cut from 16.6 ounces to 15.35. In 2022, Doritos quietly trims from 9.75 to 9.25 ounces, a 5% cut. Even less product, at higher prices. And it's not just groceries. Sony quietly cut the PS5 storage from 1 terabyte to 825 gigs. Same console, same price, 17% less space. Orange juice breaks away from the pack. Citrus greening disease has been devastating Florida's groves for years, and by 2024, the damage is undeniable. OJ surges 40% in price over 2 years and becomes the most expensive product on the chart. Coffee crosses back above 1 in 2025. Drought in Brazil, crop failures in Vietnam. The chart freezes at 2025. 2 products above the line. Orange juice and coffee. 4 below. Peanut butter, the biggest winner, sits more than a third below the baseline. But this picture depends entirely on whose wages you use. Cheaper relative to wages? But cheaper for whom? That race used median wages, the middle of the income distribution, the typical full-time worker. What if we change the ruler? Switch to the Consumer Price Index, CPI. This is the government's broadest measure of inflation, tracking thousands of prices across the economy. When we deflate by CPI instead of wages, we're asking, did food prices outpace general inflation? The lines shift up. Chips crosses above 1. Cookies crosses above 1. Now, 4 of 6 products cost more in inflation-adjusted terms than 25 years ago. Why the shift? Because median wages grew faster than CPI, about 111% versus 87%. The median worker gained real purchasing power. That's a good thing, but it means the wage view is the optimistic one. Now switch to the federal minimum wage. $7.25 an hour, set in July of 2009. It has not changed since, not once. 16 years, through a pandemic, through the worst inflation in 40 years, through everything. Roughly 1.1 million American workers earn at or below this amount. But millions more sit just above that floor, earning $8, $9, $10 an hour, and their purchasing power has eroded nearly as much. Now look at what happens. 5 of 6 products jump above 1. What looked like a story about affordability becomes a very different story. Think about it concretely. In 2000, a bag of chips at $3.36 cost a minimum wage worker about 39 minutes of work. Today, at $6.70, in a bag that keeps getting smaller, it costs over 55 minutes. More time, less chips. Coffee, orange juice, cookies, ice cream, all above the line. Products that looked like bargains under median wages are now measurably more expensive for anyone stuck at the federal floor. Only peanut butter stays below, barely. The last holdout. The median worker gained purchasing power over 25 years. The minimum wage worker lost it. Same economy, same products, same quarter century. A completely different experience depending on where you sit in the income distribution. One more lens. Gold. Gold rose 12-fold since 2000. Against that ruler, every product collapses towards zero. But nobody buys groceries with gold. It tells you what happened to the dollar, not what happened to food. Same 6 products, same 25 years, same Bureau of Labor Statistics data. Under median wages, 2 above the line, 4 below. Under CPI, 4 above. Under the minimum wage, 5 out of 6. Under gold, not a single one. Shrinkflation is real. Your ice cream pint lost 2 ounces. Your coffee can lose nearly a quarter of its weight. Your chip bag keeps shrinking a little more each year. Your Oreos are down an ounce. Your orange juice carton went from 59 to 52 ounces. Even your peanut butter jar has a dent in the bottom that wasn't there before. But the biggest shrinkage isn't in the package. It's in the question we forgot to ask. Cheaper. For whom? Same data. Same math. Different ruler. Different reality.